Hey, this is Tony with Salt Strong, and in this video I'm going to be sharing some tips for sight casting redfish using fresh shrimp on a jig head. This could be a very effective way of getting those fish to strike. So I'm going to be sharing, how to rig up the shrimp on the jig head, and also showing you some footage on the water catching some fish using fresh shrimp on a jig head. So let's go ahead and take a look.
So just to show what I'm using here, this is a 1/8 ounce Mission Fishing jig head. What I like about these jig heads is that they have that football shape. So when they sit on the bottom, they pretty much sit straight up. So if you have a piece of shrimp on there, it'll sit straight up instead of, falling over, and those fish can see it better. And also, I'm gonna go ahead and show you how I like to rig the shrimp up here. I'm using fresh dead shrimp. This is shrimp from the bait shop that pretty much dies overnight in the tanks, and they take them out, put them in baggies, and sell them. So it's nice and fresh, not frozen. And what I'll do with the shrimp is I'll just pinch the tail off. That makes it easier to rig and also helps release a little bit more scent into the water. And I will put the jig head in just like I would a soft plastic. I'll go through the back of the lure though, and up through the top. Push that jig head into the meat, and that's all I'm using right there. Very simple, effective setup to sight cast a fish, and also you can use this just like a lure. You can cast it out, you can bounce it on the bottom and draw a strike that way.
Now when you're looking for fish to sight cast to, it's very important that you move very slowly and don't make any noise. As you can see, this redfish practically came right up to me. Had no idea I was there. I picked up the rod very quietly without making too much movement and noise. Shrimp hit the water and he went straight for it.
Red, nice. I did not think I was gonna get him. Fresh dead shrimp on a jig head. You like that?
Now also, when sight casting to these fish, no matter if you're using a lure or live bait, dead bait, whatever the case may be, you want to sort of get an idea of what those fish are going to do when your lure hits the water. So you have to anticipate where they might move to and cast accordingly. You want to give yourself a little bit of space to move your bait or your lure if that fish does move in a different direction. And also be sure not to move your bait or your lure too much, because that can actually spook the fish. Once the fish is sort of in that general vicinity, I'll either just let it sit there, or I will just drag it slowly on the bottom to get their attention if need be. But again, you don't want to move it too much.
There we go. Solid fish.
So here's another good example of where the shrimp on a jig head can really come in handy. If you're throwing artificial lures, you're sight casting the fish, but your lure is either spooking those fish or they're just not interested, have a shrimp on a jig head set up on another pole ready to go just in case. Because this fish, he had no interest in the artificial I was throwing. Tossed the shrimp out there and he went straight for it.
Sure did. Can't beat shrimp.
Here's one last red. This was a really nice one I was able to catch on the shrimp on the jig head. Unfortunately, didn't have the camera on, thought I had it on, turned it on too late, got the end of the fight when I netted him, but he had some pretty cool spots on him and an interesting tail.
Solid fish.
So hopefully you enjoyed this video and that these tips can help you out next time you are out there on the water. If you have any questions or comments, please feel free to leave them down below. Also, if you are new to Salt Strong, we are the online fishing club that'll guarantee you'll start catching more fish while saving money on your favorite gear and tackle. So for more info, definitely go to saltstrong.com and we'll see you there.
There's something about the water that'll give you peace. yourself or with your family. Live salt strong and wear the line today.